It is a beautiful morning, and you are welcome to another edition of AM Cafe. I hope you all having a great morning today. Well, I am a bioman at DME, and I'm going to be your host for today's program. I mean, it's going to be an exciting one because we'll be talking about the U.S. government breaking the silence of, funding Boko Haram. U.S. government breaks silence, of you said funding Boko Haram. Well, I'm not in the studio alone today. I am with my guest, and my guest is going to help us, expatiate and elaborate more on this focus for today. My guest is a veteran journalist, the person of Mr. Larry Fadamsi. Mr. Larry Fadamsi, good morning, sir.
Good morning. I'm glad to be with you.
Yeah, and how are you feeling today?
I'm good. I'm good as always.
Okay. All right. I mean, just like I said, we'll be talking about because there's been the rumor going on that you said has been funding Boko Haram, and just a few days ago, the U.S. government came out and they debunked the story that no, we are not funding Boko Haram. But before we go into you said itself, let's take a little bit insight of Boko Haram. Boko Haram officially is known as Jamaat Sunnah Dawa Jihad. It's a self-proclaimed jihadist terrorist organization based in northeastern Nigeria and also active in Chad, Niger, northern Cameroon, and Mali. Now, the question is, what exactly, as a veteran journalist, what exactly do you think these people want? Although you might not know what they actually want, but what do you think is the ideology behind this?
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me once again. The basic thing that the Boko Haram stood for was for religious emancipation of a particular group of people, according to what they believed.
Yes.
And that Western education is alien and should be alien to them because it's not going to lead them to Al-Jannah, where they believe they are getting to heaven. And so they want to do everything against Western education because it is believed it destroys the mind of a true believer. That book is haram. Simplicity. Book is haram.
Wow.
Western education is haram. And so that was the genesis of the whole thing. And political leadership along the line, for selfish personal reasons, at some point, looked away. And it festered. I could recollect that when this thing started, General Obasanjo was no longer in power when it really got hot.
Yeah.
But he went to meet the leader. But the misjudgment at that time made the government take a step, and I think they arrested one of their leaders, and that one got killed in government customs, and that was the end of it. And gradually, a monster was created.
A monster was created.
Yes, and the intendment was not to go monstrous. They solidly and genuinely believed that they wanted an Islamic freedom at that part of the nation, and nothing was going to stop it. But over time, people have said that there was a creation which might be like the story of Frankenstein. The person that thought he was creating a scientific ingenuity, at the end of the day, created a monster, the Frankenstein monster. It was supposed to be a scientific breakthrough.
Exactly, yeah.
And it became monstrous and was destroying everything. So when it started, yes, it did not just start. Don't forget, boys will always grow to be men.
Exactly.
All those are margeries. People have children, they will go and keep them with some clerics. The clerics will give them begging bowl to go and beg and come back. They don't have a shelter, they don't have feeding arrangement, and all the rest, so they go begging. Those boys became men. You did not think they should be educated. You did not think they should be housed properly and engaged in human society. And so they felt it shouldn't be for everybody. So why should you do that to others? You are keeping some in school. But most of those from that side of the country, this is a moment of truth.
Exactly, yeah.
Kept their own children in regular schools. And they gave verve to the activities of those clerics. So boys have become men. And that's the monster in the hands of the nation. That's part one. At some point, the degeneration went out. At all costs, people wanted Goodluck Jonathan out of government.
Exactly.
And in part two of Boko Haram, we had it said. It was an army that was created purposely to ensure Jonathan does not have a second term as president. And so that is where people were not sure whether that the snitching of that member of parliament, maybe we'll still get there, led to the belief that probably some governments sponsored some version of Boko Haram.
I think we'll get exactly, yeah. You know, I'll say what an in-depth clarification. I mean, what an in-depth explanation. Because you know, most of viewers at home, I mean, they don't even know the genesis of this Boko Haram. I mean, myself, I never knew it was Boko Haram. I mean, Boko Haram. That is
education.
Exactly, yeah. That's saying no to Western education. I mean, that's the genesis of Boko Haram. And you see, we actually, I mean, I think we brought this on ourselves. You know, just as Mr. Larry Fadowsi just said, you know, boys now, they become men. You know, people that, you know, they don't have the opportunity to go to schools, you know. I mean, now they see that education as a taboo, you know, and now they are doing everything against the Western education. What Mr. Fadowsi, do you think the government, I mean, do you think the government can actually stop this Boko Haram, you know, this movement? Do you think the government can actually stop it totally?
It can be stopped, and that's the truth. It's sad, but that's the truth. Along the line, some foreign nations came round to say, look, we can assist you because these are not conventional warriors. These are warriors who go to war. In a conventional war, an army general or a leader of a team of soldiers wants to go to war and bring back most of his men.
Yeah.
But in this instance, going to war and dying there is supposed to be virtuous. For Boko Haram or ISWAP or somebody who is a fundamentalist believes the moment I die in this war, I'm going to heaven. So somebody is coming prepared to die. Another is coming thinking, let's just get through and then go back home. That's the difference. So in conventional warfare, there are rules of engagement. In terrorist warfare, there are no rules of engagement. You can shoot from the back, you can do anything, it's allowed.
And it goes.
Because it is not a real organized warfare. So ideally, the first step is to accept the fact that the nation is under siege and at war, with successive administrations, for want of political legitimacy or whatever, have mistakenly made that mistake of not calling it outright war. If you call it a war, then you must deploy the whole of your arsenal to cancel and call up this. But at the end of the day, we had a government that was saying that Boko Haram members should not spoil the name of their family. Then that means you are leading to the fact that they are part of you. Do you get the drift? Some people you are supposed to call murderous criminals, you are saying they should not spoil the name of their family. So you are calling them family to an extent. So somebody is killing people, you are thinking of amnesty. Are you getting the incongruent position of government? You declare an outright war. Outside the territory of Nigeria, we don't want to see. So the small Chadian army and our neighbors can contain these people. But Nigeria, as big as we are, because we see them as part of us. Those created by people who are in power, who are close to government circles, who are also doing business. It's an enterprise. That's why it was easy for people to be confused. Are they bandits? Are they Boko Haram? Are they ISWAP? Are they kidnappers? You don't even know what to classify them as anymore. It's an enterprise. It's an enterprise that is yielding forex, a lot of money. Do you understand? And if you say put all arsenals to get rid of these people, you talk about technology. How much of that has been used by the Nigerian government? The army, Nigerian army, is well equipped to take care of all of this, but it takes a commander-in-chief to give that directive. And over time, he was looking, before this administration of President Tinubu, over time he was looking as if the presidency of Buhari was thinking more of why shouldn't he be a national problem and not restricted to a part of Nigeria? Do you get the drift? And so gradually allowing parts of it to slide into the other parts. And but thank God we are still here where we are.
Well, if you are just exactly, if you are just joining us, what we've been talking about is U.S. government breaking the silence of responsibility of funding Boko Haram. I mean, they've debunked the story, the rumor of them being funding Boko Haram. And our guest, Mr. Larry Fadausi, a returned journalist, he's been doing justice to this focus. I mean, he's been doing wonderfully well, in explaining this topic to us and to the viewers at home. Now, U.S. Agency, for International Development, which is, you said, the U.S. Agency for International Development is the principal U.S. agency to extend assistance to countries recovering from disaster, trying to escape poverty, and engaging in democratic reforms. Now, Mr. Larry Fadausi, do you think that you said could be responsible for funding Boko Haram?
Thank you very much. I have to say that I have been, as a media manager, involved in the activities of USAID over time, and I know of the fact that the workings of that organization is to develop wherever their focus is. You have oncosa cases and a lot of other diseases that are even tropical diseases. It doesn't happen in other places, and they want to assist in curbing or eradicating most of them. Yeah. So I know those are times they were working. There are focal local governments in Nigeria where some of those diseases they focus on at per time. It's not everything at the core. They might say, okay, let's look at oncosa cases at the river blindness and the rest of it now. And they will say, where are the places where it is prevalent? I know they picked some local governments, they call them focal local governments. The focal local governments are the ones you see with this white Cherokee Jeep that has USAID written on it. Those are the activities of USAID. And they will bring their officials to work with Nigerian officials to locate where those people are, bring them the drugs that they will administer to those who have it, monitor how the thing is declining, and make their reports. They work with United Nations Development Program, UNDP, to talk about population growth and the rest of it. So those are the things, core things that you say. However, every nation has its own policy thrust. And so if in doing espionage in Africa, they needed to enter one way or the other, they might have worked with USAID. So you see, the interest we look at in issues of international politics is your interest. But over time, because these people are bringing foreign exchange, dollars and stuffs, our leadership looks away. No, I'm telling you, I recall there was a time that the information from the American embassy when the issue of Boko Haram stuff was right. We had cause to suspect one of the young lady, American, because you discover overnight, we didn't have all this kind of technology for communications there, but she had in her room. So you can't really say whether she was a spy or probably an health practitioner that came to work. So the reality is, what is the interest of your own country too? But over time, because of the free gifts coming, we don't look in depth. You can see that it was not that every nation will have its day. America is having its own now. When it comes to leadership, because over time, let's make America great again, that the president of America and most Republicans in his government are saying, for a member of parliament to reveal that you said he's not looking at diplomacy, international diplomacy. That's why the American ambassador quickly weighed in and said, no, you said couldn't have been used to, because it's taxpayers' money. American taxpayers' money, we couldn't have used it for Boko Haram. But when it appeared that a portion of American government probably listened to certain people, wanted Jonathan out of the way at all costs, you could have used some of it. You will always enter because Jonathan was the sitting president.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so to enter Nigeria, even to work with some other forces, you needed an outlet. So it could have been used. It's not. But in diplomatic circles, American government would not want that secret. The CIA has information about everything in Nigeria.
That's right.
The FBI has information about everything in Nigeria.
That's right.
As a matter of fact, I watched a video clip, media report of the American DEA, the Drug Enforcement Agency, coming to Nigeria to arrest people who are doing cocaine. But they've been investigating the cycle of those people so that they even came and traded with them here. The agents dealt with these kingpins.
Yeah.
The most they were sending, they allowed them visa, they allowed them passage to the last point where they are dropping cocaine. And then they now started the arrest back to Lagos. Do you get it? To the purpose of America. So it is for us to understand that it is not always about us. When they bring carrots, it's not always about us, it's about their country. They can just, no free lunch anywhere.
That's right.
They give you all these things. This has to work for them. So if you are thinking, and also when you listen to the likes of Mustafa's pick up about, it's about mineral resources. Look at what happened in Nigeria. About mineral resources. And so you create crises where there are farmlands because there are solid minerals there. So nobody will be able to farm on those lands. And so people will be doing illegal mining, well protected. Who protects them? You saw an army general who was on Al Jazeera saying they were surprised they met foreign currency on some of the people they arrested as bandits.
How?
You get it right? So it's seriously murky water, and thank God that the revelation came at that time. It's now time for Nigeria to sit down and really assess relationships.
Mr. Fadansi, would you say there is also an interference of our local, government officials or politicians, or our well-to-do, people in Nigeria? We say there's an interference between, them and this so-called Boko Haram.
Well, I'll just make reference to two events in public space that you can still Google or look at the issue of the Chibok girls, one, and then look at the issue of the Dapchi kidnap. The Chibok girls, every intel of security told the governor then, the vice president now, Shetima, that these girls must not take exams here. We have information that people are trying to kidnap them. The governor insisted not to take their papers now. Every move to make that, they said, okay, if you insist they must take exam, let's take them to Maiduguri or to Abuja. For safety, said no. And those girls were kidnapped. And the school principal became a commissioner of education.
School principal?
Yeah, so a lot of all these things, it's not as if, but we must look back. When that cheer happened, those people are not spirits. They came and took the girls and went away. After the government said they had intervened, the Buhari administration, they brought the girls back. But Leah Sharifu that said she was not renouncing her faith. And the nation kept quiet as if it was not. Do you know? So it involves core people in government. There was a time that the media was seriously looking at the allegation that, oh wait, there is an Issa Pantami in the government and that is alleged to be a fundamentalist that shouldn't really be holding office. True, nothing happened. When people are making damning allegations and in fact giving relevant information to show the past of what they had done in terms of the Buhari would do it. So do that. And don't also forget that several army generals came around to say, look, truth is, each time we want to go and attack, information are getting to them. So they lay ambush. So insiders. And so by the time on all corners you deploy all your arsenals and say, look, we are going to work with these people. So you go from right, left, and they will know they are in the middle. No escape. So even if you want to lay ambush, they are surrounded. From air, on land, and everything. But you are doing that piecemeal because some people are involved. So, and some people are making money
off it.
Go and buy ammunitions to show. Go and do, you understand? So it's business as usual. So if we are doing business, so why should I bother about solving that problem? If that problem is making people richer. There's only Nigeria you cannot question the wealth of public office holders. Because, if somebody is opulently rich and all he has ever been in his life is that he was a politician, then you begin to wonder, are we okay? Biden is not one of the richest Americans while he was president of America. Do you understand?
That's right.
But in Nigeria, somebody can be a billionaire and you ask, where is your factory? Had none. What do you produce? It produces nothing. What have you been a public office holder? And we're watching. These are the wrong things about that is affecting the good thing. We'll get to know. We need to do better.
Okay. Fún àwọn ènìyàn wa tó ń bẹ nílé tí wọn kò gbọ́ fìtì ní èdè tí a ti ń wí láti àárọ̀. Ohun tí a ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ni wípé àwọn Boko Haram, ṣé ìjọba orílẹ̀-èdè Amẹ́ríkà, ṣé àwọn ni ó ń ṣe àgbájọwọ́ àwọn Boko Haram ní àbí rárá? Ìjọba àpapọ̀ ìlú Amẹ́ríkà wọ́n jáde, wọ́n ní irọ́ pé àwọn kọ́ ni ó ń ṣe àgbájọwọ́ pẹ̀lú àwọn Boko Haram, wọ́n ní irọ́. Ìdí nìyí tí a fi wá kí bàbá wa àgbà onímọ̀ ìjìnlẹ̀ nípa ìròyìn òun ni wọ́n àwọn tí ń ṣe bàbá wa Láre Fádáhùnsí láti bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ohun tí à ń sọ yìí. Lákọ̀ọ́kọ́ nípa Boko Haram, kí ni nǹkan tó ṣe okùnfà Boko Haram ní orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà? Báwo la ṣe dé ibi tá a wà yìí? Kí lohun tó ṣẹlẹ̀ tí a fi ní ohun tó ń jẹ́ Boko Haram ní orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà? Ìní ìdá gba bàbá wa láti bá wa sọ̀rọ̀. Bàbá wa Láre Fádáhùnsí. afẹ́kẹ́ bá a sọ̀rọ̀ ní ṣókí nítorí àkókò wa ní èdè àbínibí wa kí ni ohun gẹ́gẹ́ tó jẹ́ ohun fa Boko Haram ní orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà báwo la ṣe débi tí a wà yìí nípa Boko Haram.
àwọn ní abúlé balámùkù wọn ní ẹrù ẹwọ́ olùsàlẹ̀ lẹ́wọ̀ ẹ̀wọ̀ àmì òkè lẹ́wọ̀ ẹ̀wọ̀ sàlẹ̀ àti sàlẹ̀ lọ́rọ̀ ti wọ́ wá nígbà tí àwọn èèyàn kan bínú tí wọ́n fọwọ́ sọwọ́ sọ́dọ̀ àwọn tí wọ́n kọ́ ẹ̀kọ́ Islam tí wọn ò jẹ́ kí wọ́n lọ ilé ìwé ti gbogbogbò láti kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ kò ṣẹlẹ̀ púpọ̀ nílẹ̀ kóòtù òjìrè torí pé tipẹ́tipẹ́ ni àwọn tí wọ́n jáde arí ń bí Bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ ni wọ́n ti mọ̀ pé ẹ̀kọ́ ní máa gbé orílẹ̀-èdè lékè ni wọ́n ti gba ẹ̀kọ́ ti mọ àwọn olóyìnbó láàyè ńlọrọrùn wọn lọ́wọ́ làwọn náà ní káwọn ṣe fáráàlú ní òjò ó dàbí ti Òkè Ọya náà ṣùgbọ́n lókè Ọya ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọgbọ́n wọn ti kó ọmọ ẹ̀rọ àgàgà àwọn mẹ̀kúnnù wọn kó wọn lọ sọ́dọ̀ àwọn àáfàá tẹ́ ẹ̀kọ́ ọmọ bíi 30 kò sóúnjẹ abọ́ tí wọ́n máa tọrọ owó ni wọ́n kó fáwọn náà ṣẹlẹ̀ mọ̀ ọmọdé ọjọ́ wọn padà dàgbà àwọn ọmọ ti sọ ọmọdé tán wọ́n ti wá dàgbà nítorí sọ fún wọn ni pé lẹ́yìn ẹ̀kọ́ ìmọ̀ ìsìláàmù kò sí ní kéèyàn ní í ṣe pẹ̀lú ẹ̀kọ́ ọmọ òyìnbó bí àwọn ọmọ ti wò gbà ìbùkù aráàlú ni lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ bí a bá kọ̀wé ilé ẹ̀fẹ́ kọ́wé ẹ̀kọ́ òyìnbó fún gbẹ́ ẹni káwọn ọmọ ni ìyá ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí gbé gbogbo ìgbésẹ̀ láti sọ pé lẹ́yìn káwọn kọ́ ẹ̀kọ́ ìmọ̀ ẹ̀sìn àwọn ò rò pé ẹ̀kọ́ mi nìkan ó yẹ káàdì ló gbà àwọn ò rò pé yẹ kọ́ ọmọbìnrin ó ti ẹ̀sùn mọ́ bí wọ́n ti ń kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ gbogbo àwọn kan tí wọ́n gbé sí i ṣùgbọ́n lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ gbà àwòfin ti fi yé pé wọ́n kó wọ́n jọ láti lè máa lò wọ́n tẹ́ bá ní gbogbo ìgbà náà lọ́hùn tẹ́ bá ti ní àwọn ọmọ ti ṣẹlẹ̀ nìkan ńlá àwọn àmọ́jèlú ní ọgbọ́ta tí wọ́n fọ́n ká ló sùn nǹkan wọ́n gbá gbogbo dà àwọn èèyàn sì wò kí láwà ṣe jùmọ̀ ó ti wá di iṣu àtàlẹ́ agbára ọ̀gá náà ló fà ṣùgbọ́n nígbà tó ti yẹ kí wọ́n tètè ya wá wọ̀rọ̀ kọfí ṣáda mo rántí ń gbà yé Jonathan tó ní àmọ̀ dá àwọn iléèwé kan lẹ̀ fáwọn àlùmọ́jèrè ní ẹ bá ti ẹ̀kọ́ ìmọ̀ ẹ̀sìn Islam kí wọ́n lọ kọ́ ẹ̀kọ́ ti òde òní táwọn ṣe ilégbè fún wọn wọ́n nílé wọ́n kásì gbìyànjú wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n àwọn kan wò pé àṣàfẹ́ ọjọba náà wọ́n bá tún gbé apá kejì Boko Haram jáde ibi tí ọ̀rọ̀ ti wá di olùkọ́ apá kejì tẹ́ ẹ gbé jáde Jonathan ti lọ abínú agbọ́mọjù nínú èrùn bínú wá bá rọ̀ tínú èrùn rọ̀ mọ́ inú àwọn èrùn ni èrùn làwọn Boko Haram inú wọn rọ̀ ẹ sì kó bọ̀ sí ẹ lọ́wọ́ ẹ ti kó wọn ta kí wọ́n máa ta lú ẹ̀yìn ti lé Jonathan ẹ ti gbàjọba ẹ ti rò pé yẹ kó àwọn ọmọ wa gbọ́ mọ́ tí wọ́n gbọ́ ni.
ó ti dùn mọ́ wọn.
àti wàá mọ̀ pé abáfáà náà jiyàn ní pé yọ ọmọ ìdówó wọ́n ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sẹ́nu $1,000,000 àwọn náà ti gba dọ́là wọ́n ti náwó gidi ibi ọ̀rọ̀ sí yìí.
bàbá wa Láre Fádàùsìn ṣé ẹ̀yin rò pé ìjọba àpapọ̀ orílẹ̀-èdè ìlú Amẹ́ríkà ṣé ẹ̀yin kò bí wọ́n ní ọwọ́ nínú pé à ń fún àwọn Boko Haram lówó àbí à ń ṣàbájọ ọ̀pọ̀ láwọn Boko Haram díẹ̀díẹ̀ ṣé ẹ̀yin rò bẹ́ẹ̀.
tó gbogbo ìlú ló ní alámí kò sí ìlú náà lórílẹ̀-èdè àgbáyé tí ò ní bẹ́ẹ̀ yóò sì wá aṣọ alámí tẹ́lá máa ń wo àwọn eré àgbéléwò tá a máa ń wò wọ́n ní ẹnìkan wá kó wá ṣe bí ọmọ ọ̀dọ́ nú ilé kan ó fi ń ṣe ìgbóná ṣe nǹkan wọn sí kí ni iṣẹ́ tí wọ́n ń ṣe òun bóyá ọlọ́pàá ló ní kó wá ṣe àbọ̀rọ̀ mi ò yí. bẹ́ẹ̀ ni torí bẹ́ẹ̀ a lè sọ pé gbogbo ẹnu o pé irọ́ ni gbogbo ẹ̀ lóòótọ́ àjọ olùṣèdè mi kan ṣiṣẹ́ pẹ̀lú wọn tó jẹ́ pé àwa bá wọn káròyìn jọ gbogbo ibi tí wọ́n ti ń ṣe iná ọ̀run ni o káwọn ọmọ kéèké máa tọ̀tọ̀ ẹlẹ́jẹ̀ kí àwọn kí lè tó máa wọnú ẹ̀sìn àwọn èèyàn jìgá gbogbo ẹ̀ wọ́n máa ń kó oògùn wá wọ́n wo gbogbo ibi tó wà tó ní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn nǹkan wọ̀nyí ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀ ni àwọn àìsàn yìí wà àwọn wá kó àwọn onímọ̀ ìjìnlẹ̀ wá pẹ̀lú owó táwọn èèyàn ń san bí owó orí ní United States Aid for International Development yẹn ti wá USAID ní owó yẹn ṣùgbọ́n lábẹ́nú ẹ̀ ó ṣeé ṣe káwọn tí wọ́n fẹ́ ṣalámí irú kan àbí míì káwọn tí wọ́n dọ̀gà wọn ni wọ́n wà lọ bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ níbi báyìí ṣùgbọ́n ó ti mọ̀ pé méjì ni nígbà tí wọ́n bá fọ́nṣẹ́ tó ó ṣe lọ́dọ̀ wọn ọmọ ṣiṣẹ́ ìtawà náà ni kò lọ sí. ẹ máa wọ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn tí wọ́n wá góòlù ní òkè ọ̀yà lọ́hùn tí wọ́n wá àwọn kùsà yòókù àwọn kùsà míì wà tó jẹ́ pé owó ẹ̀dá ju ti góòlù lọ ṣùgbọ́n bí wọ́n bá sì di lójijì báyìí wọ́n sì rí kó wọ òkè òkun wọn sì ní débi ìdúpọ̀ torílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà gan ni ṣe ti mọ̀ pé lọ́wọ́ kan àwọn èèyàn kan tí wọ́n wà yìí so àlè pé gbogbo ẹ̀ náà ló jẹ́rọ ṣùgbọ́n àwọn ìjọba orílẹ̀-èdè Amẹ́ríkà kò sí nǹkan mìíràn tí wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe ju pé kí wọ́n sọ pé lọ́ọ̀ nìyẹn torí pé ẹ̀sùn yẹn àwọn tó jára wọn lé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin wọn ló bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí fọ́gbà yẹ̀gà táwọn wò pé ó sọ Amẹ́ríkà lẹ́nu rẹ̀ àyọ̀ ni kò sóòótọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ kan nínú gbogbo tẹ̀sán ṣùgbọ́n àwa fúnra wa ló yà bá tara wa jí pé wọ́n sì é sí ìyẹn má lè máa ṣiṣẹ́ kó tún máa ṣàlámí ẹ ti bá lè jẹ́ tí ní ṣàlámí ṣé torí tiwa ni àbí torí Ọlọ́run torí ìlú tiẹ̀ tó bá wà ẹ̀ yóò ṣe torí ìlú tiẹ̀ ni tẹ bá béèrè gbèsè tó máa yá Amẹ́ríkà bá kọ pé ọmọ ìlú wa ẹ bá ti tó ilé èdè Nàìjíríà ẹ má lọ ìlú báyìí ẹ má lọ àdúgbò báyìí ẹ má lọ àdúgbò báyìí torí pé wọ́n ti ní ìròyìn tó jinlẹ̀ lórí gbogbo ẹ̀ torí náà kí wọ́n tó lè ní ìròyìn tó jinlẹ̀ wọ́n ti láwọn èèyàn tí wọ́n ṣàlàyé.
So, well, due to our time constraint, we won't be able to go further because I know if we let our guest, our veteran journalist, Mr. Life to go deep and deep, on this topic, is going to do more and more, But due to our time constraints, I won't be able to go further than this. But first, we must appreciate our guest, Mr. Life for coming on our show this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Exactly. And also, I want to say thank you for the people behind the success of this program. I mean, right from our cameraman and our producer, Shola Ogunleye, also our present producer, Adesoye Awodeji, and our executive producer, Adiola Adebayo. I want to say thank you for making sure that this program is a success. Well, I still am your host, Abayo Nadiemi. Join us next week for another interesting edition of AM Cafe. And for now, I'll say good morning.